Lewis Hart for The Ring magazine. Always a pleasure to be joined with WBC interim super welterweight champion Vergil Ortiz Jr. here in California. And Vergil, it was good to see you working out today firsthand. But yeah, first things first, how's things? How are you?
Yeah, things are great, man. I'm doing great. Camp is going well. We've been in camp maybe like 2-3 weeks already, which is a little longer than usual. But we got a big fight ahead. We want to make sure we're prepared. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just staying sharp, conditioning as well, all that.
Yeah. Do you find it difficult at times to manage camp, especially now as the levels are stepping up? You are bona fide world level. Do you find it hard sometimes to manage camp? As you say, this has been a long one, so you don't want to do too much too soon. Like, is that sort of that maturity coming in where you're sort of trying to manage it better? I guess.
It's not so hard now. We just not too hard too early. We're really, right now, we're fine-tuning things right now. We're really making sure that the chinks in the armor are as small as possible or, just not there at all. That's really it. Yeah, it's not hard to manage it at all. We've incorporated recovery and all that stuff, sleep well and all that. So everything's going good.
Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, obviously you return November the 8th against Erickson Lubin, another top 10 opponent. I guess excited to be back in there with, a very, very, bona fide contender in someone like Erickson Lubin.
Always, I love challenging myself against the best. Erickson Lubin I think he's a very good fighter. He's also been in some great fights, and I think we can expect a great fight on November 8th. He's there to win. We're almost the same age. We're pretty much in the same state of our careers, so I think that's a fight that no one's gonna want to miss.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you are earning that respect now as a world level contender? You had the Madrimov fight, the Bohachuk fight, where you showed sort of different sides to your game. Do you feel like you're earning that respect now as a sort of pushing on almost as a world contender? Yeah,
I think so. I think it's fair. I think everyone gets their fair share amount of criticism, but I try not to look at that. Muhammad Ali gets his, Mike Tyson got his, Mayweather still gets his, De La Hoya, Mayweather and De La Hoya are some of the best to ever do it, and look at them, they're always getting criticism. So, the way I see it is, if you're getting critiqued, then you're doing something right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I spoke to your trainer there, Robert Garcia, and we spoke about, you're obviously the WBC interim champion, but there's a lot of guys who've done less than one world titles, and you've done a lot. As I say, the Madrimov and Bohachuk wins alone would be sort of guaranteed someone to win a world title. Mm-hmm. Is it frustrating you aren't, I guess, that full version of a world champion yet?
At this point, I'm just, I wouldn't say I'm frustrated anymore. I think the frustration was in the division back. Mm-hmm. Now I'm just like, okay, well, it's kind of the same thing. I'm going through the same thing. So now it's just, one of the problems back in 147 was that I was going off of other people's timing when they wanted to fight. Now it's like, I'm gonna do what I want. If the opportunity comes, it's gonna come. If not, you know what? I think most of the boxing world knows that I want the best fights, and I'm taking them. Mm-hmm. So I think, I'm not saying that's what I want, but if that's what it is, then that's okay with me.
Mm-hmm. Does that feel nice, almost doing things, I guess, on your own time and when you want, and I guess you calling the shots in a sense?
Sometimes, yeah, it does. And really, man, I wouldn't even say it's me calling the shots. If someone wants to fight, we say yeah, and the fights happen. But we're not going to wait for anyone anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you're just touching back on that Madrimov fight there, arguably a career best win against someone like Israel Madrimov. How good, I guess, did that feel to show that different side to yourself and get a win like that against someone like Madrimov?
It feels good. He's a good fighter. He's a very versatile fighter. He tried to confuse me a bit. I kept it under control. I stayed poised. But I've always been like that. It's just, it takes certain people to make me fight a certain way. But my dad has always made me box, and, we have different coaches for that too. My dad, he specializes in a lot of things. We have Coach Hector, who likes to specialize in other things, and we also have Coach Robert. I have all these coaches for a reason, not for a show. You know what I mean? Like, they all do different things, and I try to incorporate all of that into my game.
Mm-hmm. And when you have 21 fights in a row where you're stopping your opponents, and the last 2 going the distance. How does that feel mentally? Like, has it made much? Have you noticed a difference in the sense in those 2 fights?
I don't see. It doesn't affect me in a negative way, and.
No, yeah, I don't mean in a negative way. Yeah, I just mean, does it feel different, in a sense? Because you're so used to just stopping everyone and like...
Yeah, I mean, I knew eventually it was going to have to end. Eventually you're just going to find someone that's tough or smart, like the last 2. But I'm almost proud of that, because people are like, oh, well, what happens when he goes 12 rounds? Well, I could still do it, it doesn't matter if I have to stop him or not. I can still box if I need to. I can fight inside when I want to. People think that I'm just some power machine that only has power. Like, bro, I can box too. I can use my speed. I can use defense if I want to, if I feel like I need it. I can do most things.
Yeah, of course. I think everyone sees that in your fights. Yeah, I think one thing that was always like that sticks out to me. I mean, the Moses Atalma fight, there was the use of that guard manipulation where he swiped the guard and but you done it in a different way. You used the guard manipulation, went to the body. I guess sort of adding them things here also showing that game shows the skill set that you do have, as you say.
Yeah, I mean, it's just boxing chess. It's just physical chess. You just got to anticipate your opponent's moves and try to think ahead. And you got to realize that some opponents don't think ahead. So, I mean, you just kind of have to read them. You just have to know what kind of opponent they are. And some things will work on other opponents and some will work on others.
Yeah, of course. I know you said there about the politics of 147 was like a bit frustrating in a sense when you felt like you were almost sort of chasing guys. Do you not feel any of that at 154 when it comes to getting a shot at the world title? Like Robert was almost saying, like, look, guys like Xander, Murtazaliev, who's obviously got the 10-pound rehydration, Fundora. I know you're in line for a shot at Fundora, but these guys, like, do you still see that politics there when it comes to yourself fighting them?
Not a whole lot. I think these fights will all eventually happen soon. I'm very optimistic about it.
Okay, yeah. I've got to ask you about Xander Zayas. Obviously, yourself and him traded words on social media. At the latest, I guess, what was sort of the whole deal? I guess I know he spoke about an offer being sent, but he wanted to fight in Puerto Rico. How do you feel about that whole situation between yourself and Xander?
I just think it's all childish, man, and I'm over it at this point. If they truly wanted the fight to happen, it would have happened next. So that's all I got to say about it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know he also I think it was an interview with the Ring magazine as well. He said, like, you said to him, talk to me when you're a champion, and then he sort of...
And that's a lie, because it's on record that he said, talk to me when you're a champion, and I said, talk to me when you fight a top 10 opponent. So, but you see, me saying, oh, he said and you said, that just makes me feel like a little kid, and that's what he is.
Yeah.
So I don't even try to. I'm not going to entertain it anymore because I just feel stupid.
Yeah, no,
at this point.
Of course, I get that. But more on that as well. You mentioned a point. You must sell, although you don't have that full world title claim, you must feel a lot more value in you face the best competition, and regardless of a world title, like, do you feel more value knowing that I've faced the best guys?
There's no doubt in my mind, so at this point I don't care, and I think the fans know it too.
Yeah, of course. And there was someone else that I wanted to ask you about, I guess, the deal with Jaron "Boots" Ennis. I know Eddie Hearn come out and said about Boots signing to fight you. I had done an interview with Eddie and I said, is Vergil on board with this? He couldn't really give me an answer, so I guess I'm asking you, like, Robert was basically saying, like, we have no idea about this, and is that more the same from your point? You don't really know where this has come from.
Well, you see, the thing is, if Boots signed to fight me, that doesn't mean I'm obligated. Like, that's what I mean when I say, like, I'm not going to wait for anyone. Like, we were both offered the fight already. We said yes. And if both sides wanted it, then it would have happened already. So it's kind of the same thing with Xander. Like, we did say yes. And I mean, the fight's not happening regardless of who said no or not. The people that said yes was my side. So now that he signed with Eddie to say that we're gonna fight, like, that has nothing to do with me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense.
You'd be happy for that fight, though, right?
I love that fight. I love that fight, but it's like they want to fight what they want to fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so it's like you're. I guess because Eddie was saying, like, that it's happening in January, for example.
Yeah.
Like, is there any truth to that? I guess from your side.
No, it's not true, because I'm gonna fight in November. I'm not gonna be ready for January.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's like someone putting words in your mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't like people speaking for you. So in a way, they're trying to like, you know what I mean? Like, did you talk to my manager or my promoter? Did you talk to me? Like, oh, we signed to fight him. Like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
Frustrating to hear?
Not really. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, of course. Look, I sort of wanted to move on, I guess, sort of more from that talk. And I wanted to ask you, obviously, next week there's a massive fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. You've sparred Canelo. I'm right in saying, obviously, you're backing him to win. As you said, you've said that on record. Still feel that way a week out from the fight that you back Canelo to beat Crawford?
Yeah, I back him. I think it's going to be a competitive fight, though. I just think that Canelo, he's supposed to win. I think he should win. But I'm not counting Crawford out.
Yeah.
I just think that's how it should go.
Yeah, of course, yeah, good stuff. And look, before I do let you go, Vergil, I thought I'd ask you, yourself, you're always a big music fan. I see you on your Instagram the other day talking about Ozzy Osbourne, etc.
I love these questions.
A question I've always got to ask you, in your mind, if you could sort of wave a magic wand, you could have anyone walk you out. Is there anyone that stands out to you, like in an ideal walkout in terms of artist?
Man, that's a hard one, man. I mean, I'm gonna try and not be biased and pick people I know. All right,
Okay.
So let me see. Ozzy for sure would have been top 3. Maybe like Metallica. Dead or alive, I would have to pick Michael Jackson.
Okay.
I'd pick Michael Jackson. He's just an icon. Yeah, and he's not metal.
Yeah. And I guess music in general, like how do you think that twines in, I guess, with your training, your career, like how important, I guess, is that for yourself when it does come to training and I guess life in general?
I mean, it's a part of boxing, and that's just how it is. Everyone has their own beat, their own rhythm. My boxers spar MMA fighters. We throw each other off because we don't fight the same. We're on a different wavelength.
Yeah.
We're like gamma rays and X-rays. We just don't. We're not on the same wavelength. So boxers are the same way. When you're in the ring, you can feel the music. You start moving a certain way, or I don't know. You can find someone's tempo and try to throw on their offbeats. And when you throw on their offbeat, they're like, "Oh shit!" Like So it's cool.
Yeah, of course. Look, Vergil, appreciate you let me interview yourself today. Always good to catch up. And all the best on November 8th against Erickson Lubin. Appreciate the time. Thank you. Cheers.